Andrew, we have been speaking about this emergence of this new wave or second wave of spirituality that is bringing what you talk about, the love of the divine with the love of justice, and bring them together. And we have spoken how that gives the world a chance, because it can get these millions of spiritual people to get involved. We also talked about how this is one of the greatest reformation in our theology.
It's the greatest reformation.
Right, religious and spiritual.
Yes.
Tell me, what does it mean for every individual in their own life? What does it mean? What does it portend?
I think that what it portends is nothing less than the possibility of experiencing for yourself the full power and glory and passion and energy and hope of real divine love. You see, you can have mystical experiences of love, and they can take you very far, but they will only take you so far until you've learned that they're given to you to put into living practice and action.
Yes.
And when you do, and this is something I know from my own experience, and I'm learning more and more about this every single day, when you do, you are given by God a wholly new level of joy, a wholly new level of peace, a wholly new level of focus, a wholly new level of passion, a wholly new level of energy.
Yes.
So each individual who is being invited and challenged by this world crisis to really step up, really ground in God, and really act with others for this great project of justice and compassion that can transform the world, is going to discover, if they do, that their lives will be completely different, far more radiant, far more meaningful.
Yes.
And this is in fact part of the process of what I call the divinization of humanity.
That embodiment,
That
of the
embodiment.
divine love in us.
The Dalai Lama said to me once that the meaning of life was to embody the transcendent. And what our crisis is doing is compelling millions and millions of people to take seriously and practically and lucidly and focusedly the real message of the divine to us, which is that we must connect with divine love and then put its ecstasy and oneness into radical action on every level. And this is going to not only help us preserve the planet, but help us leap forward into a wholly new way of being and doing everything.
And what good news! It's great
It's amazing.
news. It's great news to the individual.
Yes.
Because what I discovered in my own life, having seen the affliction of war for 7 years, and having gone through the affliction of abuse for 20 years,
And then coming to the affliction of indifference in the States.
oh my God!
And the appalling vanity of the New Age, which just said it's all illusion, or some of the Eastern philosophies that have, for all their wonderful intensity, negated the world. All of this heartbreak that you've been through.
Exactly. But what I've discovered is that there is something happening on a historical level.
Yes.
There is an awakening of that way. But I
Yes.
also discovered on an individual level, I was being asked, like
Yes.
you're saying, to embody divine love. And that means it's a call for me to free my spirit.
Yes.
I was called as an individual.
Yes.
The earth, the world is calling us to free our spirit so we can be authentic and passionate.
Yes.
And that is great news to the individual.
Yes.
Because the individual is asked, live a life that is really authentic.
Yes.
Open up your heart. Let your heartbreak lead you to embodying the dream of the divine.
Yes.
Let your heartbreak open your heart so that your heart can hold the heart of the divine itself. Live passionately. Follow your dreams. Work for your dreams. Go for your dreams. You know, like you say, go to
dedicate your dreams to the universal dream, not to your private, the secret kind of dream.
Go for your dreams that are about peace, that are about justice, that are about solidarity. Yes.
Not about Mercedes and mansions. We've had enough dreams about those.
Well, these are pseudo dreams.
Yes.
Really. But the dream of the heart, my experience working with individuals for now more than 30 years, is when they go to their heart, what they find is that their dream is a dream to make a difference with others.
Yes.
And that has happened almost every time, because that's what is at the depth of our heart.
Absolutely.
So the individual is called to an incredible freedom, to an incredible passion, and also to embody the great romantic dream of the divine for an earth that is just and peaceful and inclusive and in solidarity.
Yes.
What incredible news for the individual.
Yes.
The individual is told that they are partaking in an epic story of transformation
Yes.
that has been, its roots are 100,000 years before us and is going to continue. And all of a sudden, the isolated individual, the individual that thinks that their life is banal or their life is just kind of surviving their own personal problem,
Yes.
or barely making it in a
Yes, or
relationship.
recovering from childhood abuse or rape,
Exactly.
are given a vision that this wound is a door into an epic story in which they can participate with the divine directly in its tremendous dream that has been here really since the Big Bang. Because we are, as far as we know, the consciousness of the universe, and the consciousness of the universe is living in us and wanting to express itself in the dream that Jesus had and others have had of a kingdom, queendom, and on earth of justice and peace.
I mean, how many times, due to the story that we have talked about, I reached points where I would beg God on my knees to die.
Right.
Because I felt, one, my life is meaningless, and on top of it, there is so much pain. So
Right.
not only is it meaningless, but there is so much pain. Until by grace, by divine grace, I realized, what meaningless are we talking about? I am called to partner with the divine in the greatest epic story ever written.
Right.
I am here to work with the divine on something that is an eternal dream.
Yes.
That there will be real democracy, there will be real inclusion, there will be real respect for minorities. And this is a dream that I realize lives in my heart and lives in the heart of everybody that we work with, right?
And everybody on the human planet, everybody here has that dream somewhere in their heart, because that is the fundamental dream of divine consciousness in us.
Exactly.
And what you've done in your celebration and articulation of second wave spirituality is that you've given us a complete and beautiful and holy roadmap for every individual who has the courage and has the passion and has the insight to really start thinking of themselves as a partner of God.
Yes.
In the epic
Yes.
and greatest
Yes.
adventure
Yes.
of our whole evolutionary history, the adventure that is now right here,
Yes.
right now, in an exploding
Yes.
world crisis,
Yes.
and the response
Yes.
to it.
And I want to say to our listener that if ever someone tells you that the dream of your heart is unrealistic or the idealism of your spirit is unrealistic, do not accept that. What is realistic? The destruction of our ecological home. What is realistic? 2 billion people on less than $2 a day. We have to protect the dream of our hearts, and of course we have to learn how to express them in ways that are intelligent and that are realistic, but we have to protect your idealism, protect that powerful spirit that is in your heart, because the future of humankind depends on it. And learn how to use it in transformative action, in humanitarian action, in actions that change the essence of injustice. But we have to protect that, right? It is so important.
That is the place where the divine sings in us.
Yes.
And all the great mystics and all the great prophets and shamans of all of the traditions have said to us with one thundering and tender voice, please know that the divine lives in you, and it lives in you as a great power, a great passion, a great peace, and an undying hope for a transformed world that reflects the
Yes.
justice and compassion of God's holy heart. And that is the universal message, and we have never needed it more, and now we
Absolutely.
have
Yes.
to listen to
Yes,
it
we have
to be able to survive. And if we do,
Yes.
this horror will be transformed
Yes.
into a garden of
Yes.
amazing miracle and possibility.
It's the time to listen. Andrew, it's been such a pleasure to work with you.
It's my
Such
great
a
pleasure, because I love you, and I'm so grateful.
Same here.
Thank you.
I respect your work, and I love you, and I treasure your being.
Thank you. I treasure yours, my darling man. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.